All right, everybody. Right now we're going to do part 3 of the CO2 Dragster in SketchUp. What we're going to do first is follow along with the slides that are in the Google Classroom for you. And this is going to be a step-by-step process of how to change your 2D drawings of your side view and your top view to a 3D rendering. So first thing that we're going to do, step 2 in the slides, is we're going to select the eraser tool. So you can do that by selecting the letter E on your keyboard. That'll change your icon to an eraser, or you can go over to the toolbar and select the eraser icon. Once we have that, we are going to erase the rectangle shape that you have for where your CO2 cartridge would go. So we're going to click on our lines, erase those things. Let's zoom into our top view, and we'll erase, whoops, always hit undo if you make a mistake, and we will erase those. I'm going to also get rid of these other lines that I don't need for my project. And then I don't need that one as well. All right. So next, with step 3, what we're going to do is activate the push-pull icon. So you can either push the letter P on your keyboard, or on the left side toolbar, you're going to select the 2, 4, 6, 7th icon down from the top. It is going to be your push-pull icon. If you click it out, it's going to bring out your pull-out menu. It is going to be the first icon at the top. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on our top view first. So what I'm going to do is click on the inside of this top view. You'll see when I hover over it, it gives you little dots. Once I click on that top view, it's going to allow me to push or pull my item. What I'm going to do is extend it relatively high. This is going to create our 3D form. Once I have it to the height that I want, I am going to select. So there is no determined space that you need to have for it. All I would recommend is you make sure that your top view, when you extend it out, is taller than your side view. That will make everything easier for you as you're working. So I'm going to rotate it a little bit, make it centered. So remember, use your orbit tool and your hand tool to get things centered, move those around. You can use that by orbit tool is the letter O on your keyboard, the hand tool is the letter H on your keyboard. So that was step 5. Next thing that we're going to do is do the same thing, but to our side view, and we are going to extend it to the right. So I'm going to select the letter P on my keyboard for push-pull. I'm going to select my car, and then I'm going to extend it so it goes past my top view. Once I have it to that point, I'm going to click, and then that's creating an intersecting spot of our top view and our side view. So that is step 7 on the slides presentation. Next, what we want to do is select the cursor tool. Before I do that, I'm going to want to center this a little bit better just because it's easier for me to follow along with. There we go. And we're going to select the cursor tool. So you can hit spacebar on your keyboard. After we have that, we are going to, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can hit Control A. No, we don't want to do that. Actually, let's just select all. So if you hit Control A, that'll select all. Or if you want to create your box with your rectangle, go in the upper left-hand corner, draw a box that surrounds your whole item. And then that's going to include everything that you just created with your 3D renderings of your top view and your side view. After we have that, what we're going to do is we are going to select our item here. So since it's highlighted, that means everything's selected. What I'm going to do is, with 2 fingers, push down on my mouse pad, so it's going to be like a right-hand click. After I have that, I'm going to go to Select. I'm going to go to Intersect Faces. Nope, mine just goes to intersect. Nope, forget. With the change, intersect faces is already there. So I apologize. So we're going to select it. We're going to go to intersect faces, and then we're going to go to with model. After you see that, you'll see that there has been a line created that's making a space here. That's what we wanted to do. Whereas before, it was kind of open. You can see that there's no line there. Once we select all and intersect with faces, you'll see that it makes a predetermined line. that separates your items. From this point, what we are going to do is start to trim away the things that we do not want anymore. In order to do that, you can either use your cursor tool, select an item, see when you have dots, and then hit delete or backspace on your keyboard, and it will start to get rid of those items. So I'm going to go through and delete all those things. You can also use the eraser tool if you'd like. You can select your items and then erase. So what I'm going to do is trim out all my areas and start to go from there. This process might be the longest part of it, just to make sure you get all your lines. So we're going to do this both to the top and the sides of your icon. So first I'm going to start with my sides just because it's easier to do. And then let's erase these things. All right, so there's my one side view. So you can see once I delete all those things, my view is inside of the car here. So what I'm going to do is rotate around and do the same exact thing to this side. You can see that I zoomed in a little bit. I kind of want to zoom out just to make it a little bit easier for me. Center that. And then I'm going to select my cursor tool and select the items that I no longer want. So we're just going to go through and delete all these things. Make sure that as you're deleting, you're working outside of your raised top view. If you get too close, you could end up deleting things on your actual car that you don't want. So that's why I like to work on the furthest point outside here. And just make sure that everything that I want deleted is getting deleted and it's not deleting anything that I do not want to get deleted. And then from this point, after I got all my centers out, I am going to erase my lines. All right, so from that point, my side view is attached to my top view. Next thing that I'm going to want to do is start to get rid of my top view. So what we're going to do from this point is we are going to start deleting this area up here. So first thing I'm going to do, select my cursor tool, select that icon, get rid of that, get rid of that. And you can see as I'm trimming these things, it is starting to form my car design, my shape that I created. So by getting rid of these spaces first, it's going to allow us to see our 3D rendering of our car that we created. Let's just keep on deleting these things. Before I get too far into the bottom, I'm going to get rid of these lines that I no longer want. Let's just trim that out. And let's get rid of these lines so far. I believe in the slides, I do the left side, then the top, and then the right side. Whichever way you go about it, it doesn't matter. As long as you're just trimming out all of your areas to get your 3D rendered car, that's perfectly fine. So I got that section out, and then let's get down here. Let's make sure I got all this on this side. All right, and then there is what my car looks like. As you rotate it, you can see there's my side view. That's what my car would look like from the side. From my top view, that's my top view design. You can see how forming those options really makes your 3D rendering from this spot. So once I'm at this space, I would hit save. After I would save this icon, the next step is going to be creating your CO2 dragster hole. So that hole, I'm going to rotate to the back. First thing I'm going to want to do, as soon as I see my output here, I'm going to make an X. So I'm going to go from endpoint to endpoint, endpoint to endpoint. Go to the circle tool. So I'm going to hit the letter C on my keyboard. Click on the inner circle where that intersects. Extend it out. Type in 3/8. Enter. And then that's going to create my circle. From there, I'm going to erase the crosshairs that I created, leaving just that circle. I'm going to rotate so I can get a better view of this. I'm going to select my push-pull icon, select the inner circle, go towards the front of my car, type in the number 2, enter, and then that's going to create my hole, my board hole for my CO2 cartridge. And right there, that is. So what I would do from here is take a screenshot from this picture here, from this pose, so you can see the CO2 cartridge, and then take a picture from this angle here to show your car as it is. Once you have those screenshots, paste those into your supplied Google Slides in the classroom, and then turn that in for submission. From this part, we are going to be moving on to part 4, and then that will wrap up the final project.